Let's get into these buy or sells.
Buy or sell this, Joel. Luka will win a championship in the next 3 years.
I'm buying. I know the roster doesn't look good right now. You're used specifically a phrase of just, they're just trying to glue pieces together. There was a point in time where Kobe Bryant dealt with a similar issue when Shaq left the Lakers. And the Lakers rosters were terrible. Then out of nowhere, a Pau Gasol came. A trade was made that was criticized because the Lakers gave up Kwame Brown in the second round pick that ended up becoming Marc Gasol. Greg Popovich even came out and said, this is embarrassing for the league because this is clearly not acceptable. We need to come up with a committee to veto trades because this trade is stupid.
You're such a
The
historian.
the Lakers find ways to get stars. Kobe Bryant got his Pau Gasol. LeBron James got his Anthony Davis. Luka Doncic is going to get his co-star. Maybe it's Giannis. Maybe the trade that everybody's waiting for Giannis isn't with the Spurs, with OKC, with Houston. Maybe it's with the Lakers because that's what the Lakers do. They bring in stars, baby, and that's what they can do for Luka.
As much as I want to ask you what vitamins you've been taking or smoking, I have to agree with you. I buy this. It absolutely won't be this year. I think we can agree on that. But once LeBron's money falls off the books, and they potentially move on from AR-15, I'm really excited to see what they will build around Luka. They do have cap space next summer. Free agency, there may not be a lot of options there, but at least they have the flexibility that they don't have to pay a 40-something-year-old $52 million per year. They don't have to go all in on Austin Reeves, who, is a secondary or third star who cannot defend. You need a secondary or third star next to Luka that can defend. Yes, it worked out with Kyrie Irving, but the only reason that works is because at every other position, they were pluses on the defensive end of things. So I 100% agree. Within the next 3 years, it's not out of the realm of possibility that Luka Doncic can win a championship. Next, buy or sell. It's about the other team in Los Angeles. Buy or sell this. The Clippers title window ended the moment they traded for James Harden.
This is insanely disrespectful, and I really don't expect nothing more from you. But this is disrespectful to even suggest that Harden is the reason why their title window closed. He played a good first round series, and everything has been made about Harden no showing. But nothing has been made about Kawhi Leonard only having one elite, amazing game in that series. For some reason, Harden has always been the scapegoat wherever he's went.
For some
And
reason,
I actually think that, of course, I'm selling this idea that the title window ended the moment Harden got traded to the Clippers. I actually think that the title window opened back up when Harden got traded to the Clippers. That's what the reality of the situation is because they had Russell Westbrook starting at point guard, if you remember clearly, and they said we need to bring an upgrade, and they brought in James Harden, moving Russell Westbrook to the bench, and that gave some optimism for the Clippers. Maybe had they been healthy, things shape out differently. Their title window isn't wide open, and the reason why they don't go deep in the playoffs is because of injuries to their star guy in Kawhi Leonard. But the only reason why we're talking about the Clippers, the only reason why we talked about them last year, the only reason why they continue to be relevant is because James Harden got traded there. Let's make one thing clear.
quick question. Russell Westbrook, the year he started for point guard before James Harden got there, when did they get eliminated?
First round.
Last year, if you could recall for me. When did they get eliminated?
First round against a better team.
Okay, yeah, that's a banner I want to hang up. So James Harden, yes, you're right. His teams are always relevant because of him. He's an all-time great. He's one of the best scorers to ever walk this earth. But whenever you talk about playoff or titles, James Harden is historically not in those conversations. I'm not saying this is all his fault, but the championship window has been over. You can argue it was over before he got there, which is a truth, but it's also been over since he got there. We've seen in the playoffs, we've seen this with him in the playoffs for decades. And now you look, the ceiling in this Western Conference, you look at the top three: OKC, Denver, Houston. I think those are pencil ins for pretty much every NBA fan. So their ceiling now with Harden on this roster, and as great of an offseason they had, I'm not going to sit here and argue they could not have had a better offseason. Their ceiling is the fourth best team in the West. That is what they are, and that is why I'm buying this.
I think you're disrespectful to James Harden. And like I said, I don't think that their title window is closed. You see what they did this offseason. They did it this offseason because they know they got James Harden on the roster with Kawhi Leonard. That's why they did it. They don't go all in. They aren't aggressive. They don't think they see an opportunity because they know
Yeah,
Fear Beard is in town. And when teams come, they fear him.
you're right. It has nothing to do with a multi-billion-dollar arena they're trying to fill. It has nothing to do with that.
And how do they advertise that bad boy? James Harden, Kawhi Leonard,
100%. Teams
stars.
always relevant. Title windows close. Buy or sell. The NBA's next dynasty is already in OKC.
I think this is a buy. I think they're probably going to go back to back this year. This is the youngest team outside of the 70s Blazers, led by Bill Walton, to win an NBA championship. J Dub's getting better. Shea continues to get better. Chet's getting better. They have everybody locked up. They have promising rookies and second year, third year players. Right behind everybody is depth pieces. I mean, this is obvious. This is like so obvious. This is record setting type of roster construction. This is a team that can break the 2016 Warriors regular season wins record. This is a team that can run through everybody in the playoffs, including the Denver Nuggets. This is just that
Gaslighting.
talented of a team. I think they are a dynasty.
Oh,
They will
gaslighting.
be a dynasty, I should say.
Gaslighting at its finest. I'm selling this. You think of the word dynasty, it doesn't go hand in hand with one title. One title does not equal a dynasty. They had multiple 7 game series last year that everybody forgets about that ended with game sevens where the other team's star player was severely injured. You look at game 7 of the NBA Finals, Tyrese Halliburton tears his Achilles. You look at game 7 in Denver, Michael Porter Jr. can't lift his right shoulder. He can't lift his arm. And their other starter, Aaron Gordon, can barely run up and down the court. Those are 2 7 game series they had just last year in their one title. They were knocked out in the second round the year before that. So, how are we talking about a team as a dynasty that has one NBA championship?
I think it's fair to nitpick the OKC Thunder. Last time I checked, the 2015 Warriors got nitpicked because they beat LeBron in the finals when Kyrie and Kevin Love were out, and it
Mm.
was used against them. So for me, I don't want to nitpick OKC. I want to talk about the great things they've done. Like they are number one all time this past season in net rating in the regular season and the playoffs combined. At home, they were historically the best home playoff team in the history of the NBA. And sure, they might have been in some close calls. Their back might have been against the wall for a minute or two. But when the game mattered the most and the chips were on the line, they beat the brakes off of Denver and they beat Indiana pretty comfortably too. You can argue about the Indiana series maybe swinging in a different direction if Halliburton plays the entire game. I think that is a good hypothetical. But overall, this is a team that now has more experience that is only going to continue to get better. And I don't see them slowing down anytime soon.
So you have a beautiful personal studio now behind you. You're dumping money into a brand new one and it's well deserved. I can't wait to see how it finds out. But one decoration I would suggest to you is just to hang up a banner. And it's not a championship for your New York Jets or, your New York Knicks or whatever you want to do. It is a net rating banner for the Oklahoma City Thunder because that is your favorite statistic ever to exist. And I can't wait to see that banner hanging up in your brand new studio. Secondly, your comp to the 2015 Golden State Warriors, nitpicking that title. I don't think anybody in 2015, a decade ago, was calling the Golden State Warriors a dynasty at the time. A dynasty is what word we're talking about in this buy or sell with the Oklahoma City Thunder. And one question you have not answered for me is how can a dynasty be a team who has won one title?
Well, the buy or sell statement is the NBA is the next dynasty.
Okay,
And
that's
I
fair.
think OKC is the next dynasty.
We shall see.